Now let's move up and talk about the 6R series. And guys, I'm really excited to talk about this tractor series because the various applications and the versatility that this series can do alone is quite impressive actually. So within the 6R series, there are actually 12 different models that span over 4 different frame sizes. So anywhere from 110 horsepower all the way up to 250 horsepower now. So we're talking about applications, be it dairies, feedlots, commercial ag, production ag, governmental. These tractors really can span a wide range of various applications. So talk about the model breakdown just a little bit. I know it's tough to see, but underneath the loader frame, you'll see the 6215R. So again, the nomenclature and things like that are going to be the same as the rest of the 6 family of tractors and the smaller families of tractors as well. I do want to note though, that going forward, the model numbers are changing just a little bit to be similar to the big brothers, the 7Rs and 8Rs. So you're going to see going forward just the 6R and then the horsepower behind it. So in this case, this tractor going forward would actually be a 6R 215 versus the 6215R. So just to kind of keep that straight. And then we do see the 660R loader. We'll talk about the R series loader, excuse me, the 660R loader, and we'll talk about the loaders here in just a little bit as well. But from there, again, guys, various applications. I'm really excited about these tractors. But first, let's take a look at the cab and see what it has to offer. All right, let's take a quick tour of the cab. Over here on your left-hand side, you do have your instructional seat. So capability of bringing somebody along with you. Looking forward here to our steering column. Again, down at the floor, you're going to have your clutch, your brakes, and then your foot throttle. You do have your adjustments in your steering column with it being a tilt steering column. Like that. Bring it back to us. Okay. So over here on your left-hand side, you do have your power reverser. With this transmission, this is the IVT transmission. We have lots of different transmission offerings that we'll go through here in just a little bit. But it does have your power reverser, great for loader work. Quick forward and back without having to clutch, which is super handy. Go ahead and light up to the display. For a second there, you'll see all the various warning lights, indicator lights that are come on as well. Your speed, your engine speed. Radio works great in here, as well as your HVAC. We'll go ahead and shut those off for the time being though. Okay. Your light control over here on the right-hand side. Turn signals, wipers, so be it front and rear, because you do have that option here. You have your loader roof. This one is equipped with that. So the panoramic. So there's adding more to our visibility, which is great. Now, if we go ahead and swivel over here, we do have our command arm. So this is going to be an option with your direct drive transmission and your IVT transmission, which this is our IVT transmission that we see in our larger row crop tractors that are bringing down into the 6R family of tractors or 6R series of tractors. In a right-hand console configured tractor, so again, non-command arm tractor where you just have all your controls over here in your right-hand console, you're going to have your power quad transmission, your auto quad transmission, various speeds offered there, also some eco offerings as well. And then again, in your command arm configurations, you're going to have either the IVT or the direct drive transmission. Now that direct drive is going to be similar to what you might know as the E23 transmission in your larger tractors. So kind of a combo between a traditional mechanical transmission mixed in with your hydraulic transmission as well. So just having some more optionality there to find some efficient ways of doing your applications. One thing I do want to point out, and we'll show some visuals here on the screen, that we don't have in this tractor is going to be the Command Pro joystick control. So it's basically a multi-function control joystick, similar to what you might see in competitor tractors like Kloss. And it is going to basically put all your functions into one big joystick. So be it your SCVs, your hitch, your transmission. So it is an IVT transmission still. It's just your controls for it are going to look a little different. So it's actually going to have 11 reconfigurable buttons. You're going to have a whole different, I would say it's a gate that you can push it into to control creeper speeds as well. But again, being the IVT transmission, you're still going to have your set speeds and it's still going to operate and function similar to exact same as an IVT transmission. It's just your controls are going to be a bit different. So we do have our Gen 4 display, exact same display that you're going to see in the larger row crop tractors. Just really lets you stay in tune with your tractor. You're seeing various readings, measurements. This whole Gen 4 display is completely customizable as far as your run pages that you want to see based off whatever applications you're doing, auto track, guidance options, all of the above. So we won't get too in depth with your Gen 4 display, but again, very much customizable. And then you can go through and do all your settings here to really fine tune what that operator wants and likes and whatever is best for your application. Your soft keys down here are going to be shortcut buttons to, let's say, like your hitch settings. You have your SCV controls, so they're going to be more of your paddle pot style instead of your mechanical levers. Again, that comes with a command arm versus your right-hand console. Also, electronic hitch engagement as well. Here's where you will, if you want to lock out your SCVs, saying it's engaged, disengaged. Okay. So continue with our transmission. You do have your IVT transmission here. So this is going to allow you infinite various speed options, 2 different set speeds within your ranges. So you have your first set speed and your second set speed, and that's all configured here in your transmission box as well. So you'll see here that our F1 speed is set at 12.4, and our F2 would be more of a transport speed, all the way up to 31 miles per hour there. You do have your hand throttle. You've got various options available as far as controlling your engine speeds, pedal mode, field cruise, which is going to try to maintain basically an economical or an efficient engine speed that your engine is going to constantly try to work towards. Same with eco. It's going to help you control your engine speeds based off of your applications and the loads. Just try to be the most fuel efficient and just try to be easy on your engine overall. You have your auto track engagement button here, and these buttons are going to be your iTech buttons or your intelligent equipment management controls. So you're able to program various sequences. So if you're doing any sort of redundant field work or just something that's very patterned, you can plug in this program. So you want your engine speed at a certain speed, you want your ground speed for a certain speed, then you want to raise or lower your implement, or you want to turn on and off a hydraulic command, then you can actually program those and just by the touch of the button, do it all as needed and in the order that it's needed and when it's needed. So really reduces operator fatigue and helps you be very consistent on your operation and whatever application that you're doing. Your MFWD control buttons here, your differential lock buttons here, your PTO engagement. Here is our 4th SCV control, since we ran out a little room up here to have it. You have your loader joystick, which is programmable. We'll see over here by our icon though, where it's currently at. So we've got additional SCV offerings. So again, it's going to be on your loader. So your raise and lower function, your tilt and curl functions on your bucket. But again, those are programmable to however you see fit. These soft touch buttons are pretty self-explanatory. Your audio, phone, Bluetooth enabled, your HVAC, different light offerings, beacons, flashers, and then your hitch. So here, you can even lock it out if needed. Our hitch lock engaged there. If you have a certain set point you want to set it at, lower, and then if you want to manually roll it to where you want, you can as well. All sorts of power outlets and connectors back here. So be it whatever implement that you're utilizing, whether it's through the ISO or various size pin connectors, you should be pretty well set with your offerings back here. Even some USB battery chargers, which are super handy. USB as well. So it should be pretty well set for whatever implement you're offering here. We'll talk a little bit more about some of the different applications and implement compatibility. Overall, very comfortable cab. You have all sorts of adjustments here with the seat, be it forward, back, fore and aft. Again, air suspension, so raising and lowering. Very comfortable cab. Should be good to go for your full day's work. So from here, we're going to step outside the cab and take a look at the back side of the tractor and talk about hitch and hydraulics and see what all this 6R has to offer. All right, now we've taken a look inside the cab. We're going to focus on a few different applications. First being material handling. So with this loader, as you can see, this tractor has a 660R loader sitting on it. It is also compatible with the 680R loader. And when you look at the whole series, there are 4 different loaders in that R family of loaders, from the 620, 640, 660, and 680. And some of them can be utilized as secondary and primary loaders. So for example, the 6215R can carry both the 660R and the 680R. So it really just comes down to the specs and capacities of what you're going to be doing. They might look a little scary to take on and off, but they are actually fairly easy to do so. I just want to point out a few of those attachment points. So we have this lever right here, and that's going to essentially free up your connection point here on your loader frame. So you're going to want to do that on both sides. And there's some decals there on the inside. They're going to show when it's locked and when it's in the proper place and when it's unlocked in order to take it on or off. So real simple control connection there. Then you have your parking stands here that are going to fold down. So again, really no tools necessary. I do want to point that out when you're taking the loader on and off. So you're not having to bolt any stands on. You're not having to basically attach or detach anything that's completely off of the loader itself. So it is a self-sustaining system. So you'd have your parking frames here, or your park stands, excuse me. And then if you are taking off your bucket, you have your single point attachment here, and then also here with your hydraulics too. So fairly simple system in order to take on and off. Plenty of decals available to walk you through that as well. Again, check out that Tractor Plus app. It's really going to show you a lot of those various instructions too. So we're going to walk over here to this other side. Again, you're going to see your same connection points on your loader frame. So you'll want to move that lever appropriately to the locked or unlocked position. And then what's super handy is you do have a single point connection system with your hydraulics. So instead of hooking these up individually, all you have to do is take it on and off as a single connection point there as well. So again, fairly simple system in order to take that on and off. As we come around to the back here, we're going to continue talking about our hydraulic system a little bit here and check out what some of our SCV capability is. So on the largest models, we can get up to 6 rear SCVs or 5 with a power beyond. And then on your mid and smaller frame sizes, you're going to have up to 5 or 4 with the extra power beyond. So you can see here how we're equipped with the 4. Your hitch itself is going to be a Cat 2 for your small models, and then a Cat 3 on your larger models such as this one. So you're really increasing your overall capacity of various implements that you can handle with these tractors. Again, you have your PTO application as well. You're able to switch those speeds again by clipping in that snap ring and rotating that PTO shaft. So that's nice and handy there. A serviceability standpoint, I do want to point out before we leave, the back side of the tractor is going to be your hydraulic sight glass back here on the rear. An option that this tractor actually has is your external hitch control options right here. So if you're hooking up an implement and you just need to inch it up or down, this is real handy. You don't have to keep climbing in and out of the cab to do so. So you're able to operate it from outside of the cab. And then you'll see the little PTO button over here, the PTO icon. That is so if your splines aren't lined up quite precisely enough, you're able to very slowly rotate that PTO shaft to where it'll hook up with your implement accordingly. As mentioned, we're really starting to vary our applications that these tractors are capable of. So when we think about some of our rear implements, baling is going to be a main application for these tractors. So when we think about the 6R series as a whole, we're compatible anywhere from the 450E baler, so that's a 4x5 baler on the smaller end of the spectrum, all the way up to our 560M baler, which is a 5x6 baler for your round bales. So help you be able to plant various crops in your application and your operations, just depending on what fits your needs the best. Speaking of which, you probably want some various spacing options when it comes to planting and getting into some of those more row crop applications. So rack and pinion axles are an offering on these series of tractors. So you're able to have various spacing with your wheels and tires without having to completely disassemble and put back on. So that is definitely a handy option. This tractor is equipped for duals, it just doesn't have the dual tire on it currently. So again, just really beefing up that tractor for those heavier applications. A few serviceability points to point out here before we wrap up the 6Rs. So over here, you do have your washer fluid, you have your battery access over here on your right-hand side. And then similar to some of the other models that we've talked about, if you pop the hood, all those filters are going to be easy access. Your cooling system right up there in the front to get to as well. Check out that Tractor Plus app. It's really going to showcase and save you a lot of time and let you get to know your tractor a little bit better as far as service intervals, maintenance, things like that to keep it in prime shape. And then we'll round it out here by showcasing the fuel and the def. But guys, this 6R family or 6R series of tractors, again, 12 different models, over 4 different frame sizes, horsepower is ranging from 110 all the way up to 250 horsepower. This really spans the gap from those utility tractors, stands alone really as that mid-size tractor and gets you really, really close to those larger row crop tractors as well. So really the options and opportunities are endless with these tractors, and hope you get to check them out someday for yourself. In this episode today, we've covered the whole entire 6 family of tractors. So the 6Es, the 6Ms, and the 6Rs. Lots of different model options, lots of different horsepower capabilities. And so obviously we're going to be able to do lots of different applications. So anywhere from livestock, dairies, mowing, hay, all the way up to some production ag type things, especially here in our larger frame 6R tractors. Especially with our 6R tractors, when you're thinking about the technology side of things, so you have auto track capabilities, you have all of your JD Link, your Connect Mobiles apps to really stay in tune with what your tractor's doing, what your operation's doing, how it's performing, and then also Operation Center. So really starting to track tractor data, operation data, documenting yields, applications, and really able to help you fine-tune some of those decisions on your operation. So hope you've enjoyed this episode. Hope you realize the versatility that John Deere has to offer with the 6 family of tractors. And if you would like more information or need to check things out more in depth, johndeere.com, americanimplement.com. We'll have some of those links down in the descriptions as well. And feel free to call your local American Implement dealer. So appreciate it, guys. Have a great day.